Hello, everybody, and welcome back to an episode on my channel. This episode is not going to be part of the Live, Laugh, Love series because it's deviating from my formula. So I guess I'll either make a new series or I'll just make this a video on my channel, probably the latter. But yeah, so today we're going to be discussing how to consciously watch whatever you're watching. That's how to consciously view whatever you're watching, whether it be Netflix, YouTube, or Twitch, or whatever like you enjoy watching in your free time. How to start consciously watching it and gaining more from passively watching shows in your free time. As I know, watching Netflix or YouTube is one of my favorite things to do in my free time because, there's so many things you can watch and there's so many lessons you can learn from watching those things, whether it be anime, Naruto, or Code Geass, or Death Note, or watching cartoons like Avatar, or Arcane, or Cyberpunk Edge Runners, or just live action shows like, I don't know, I don't watch a lot of live action shows myself, so I wouldn't know, but there are a lot of good ones out there, like Breaking Bad. So I'll probably have to start watching that eventually. There's a video on taking care of your backlog coming soon though, so be on the watch for that. Anyway, so to start consciously watching content, you kind of have to begin at what you enjoy watching the most or the most consistently. Like for me personally, it's usually video analysis on movies or games or cartoons because I love like 30-minute plus long videos on how that was an ad playing. I love 30-minute plus videos on how the Koopa Troopa in Mario is actually symbolism for our cradling of society or something. That's an example. It's not actually a video out there, unless there is. Props to them. But no, not seriousness. I love watching videos like that. I love the insight I gain from it. I love learning about different strategies filmmakers and writers use to communicate this, get this story from the screen embedded into your head and your memory, and you're just constantly thinking about, wow, this should make me feel this, or it made me feel that, or I'm now changing my, routine because this show opened my eyes to certain things, So that's something that I find passion in consciously watching in. But if you're watching a show where you maybe like you put on in the background, like for me, it's like The Flash. I usually throw that show on in the background while I'm doing something, and I just like background noise because of that. It's nice. A lot of people do feel that as well. But when it comes to consciously watching a show, you want to do more than just kind of letting the words come in and go out the other ear. You want to instead start picking up on details and paying keener attention to scenes that go on. When you're watching, I don't know, let's say Phineas and Ferb, right? Picking up on small details. I know there's not a lot of super small details in the show because it's not meant to be that kind of show. But you start picking up on reoccurring themes, reoccurring events that happen in the show, or disparities or differences in an episode compared to a different episode, and you kind of dwell on those findings to expand on your current knowledge of the show. That's just one example, of course, but you can use that for plenty of other shows. It's easier for others than it is for some, but you can consciously watch and learn from any show you watch or view. And when it comes to viewing content on YouTube, it's generally a lot more fine-tuned because you can genuinely look for videos that already break down and analyze shows you watch and pick out those finer details. So when you're watching those yourself, those videos, you can kind of have a eureka moment and be like, oh, okay, so that's what was going on, or that's what I didn't notice myself, which hopefully may inspire you to go back and find a different show or find that same show and looking at different episodes or different complete series to do that with and delve into, which is pretty awesome. I'll say that. It's a really fun pastime. It just takes your level of screen time viewing on your phone or your TV and transforms it to like, oh my gosh, I'm learning way more than I usually would sitting here kind of mouth agape blankly viewing the show. It feels like you're taking in more information from the medium you're watching. Now, that's not going to stop people from being like, oh, all you do is sit and watch TV all day. Some people say that about you, which I don't know if it's true or not. If you do, then that's what you chose to do with your life. I mean, I don't advocate for it. I always advocate for finding a passion, going through with it. If it's a physical passion, then by all means take it farther. Make sure you enjoy it. You don't have to go to you don't have to go to the professional level, of course. It's like saying, you like playing like, oh no, Overwatch 2 in your free time, and taking it to the next level is what you need to do. Like, no, because obviously when you take it to that pro level, you may not enjoy it that much anymore, and then it stops becoming a passion. It just becomes a chore and a work, and it's not fun. And then it also goes for physical activities as well, like ping pong, tennis. Like, obviously you don't have to take it to the next level. Some people may encourage you to based on your physical attributes, but if it's something you're not going to enjoy, if you don't feel passion competing at that level or growing to compete at that level, then I would say don't break your body trying to push that and have something you don't enjoy. Now it's a different case, obviously. If you don't feel like training because you're lazy, then that's different, But overall, that's just what I'm trying to get the gist and say. Anyway, back to what I was saying about consciously watching what you're viewing. When you're starting, I'd say start with a show you enjoy. Maybe you've already seen it. If you've seen it already, that works even better. If it's a new show, then that works pretty well, pretty cool as well. But for example, I was watching a BoJack Horseman yesterday on my TV, and rewatching it, and now knowing what's gonna come and knowing the fate of these characters and what's gonna happen to them, it was actually, honestly, that show is much better on the rewatch than the original run through, because obviously you have your big reactions to the things that happen and initial oh my gosh, this is happening, right? But when you rewatch the show, especially when you're grew a little bit from watching it before, it's just it feels like you get a lot more from these episodes than you did previously. Just watching and realizing that the decision that BoJack made in season 1 reverberates throughout the upcoming seasons, and then rewatching season 2, and I don't remember what episode it was. I think it was episode 3 or 4 where BoJack's mom tells him that he's broken and he can't be fixed because of her, and because she's a broken person and his father's a broken person, and he can't be fixed ever no matter what he does. And then he finally nails the scene where he has to say, "What are you doing here?" It's just the first time you're like, oh wow, that was deep, and the second time you're like, you just delve on how deep your psyche has to go to fully convince yourself that you aren't a whole person anymore. It's astonishing. Speaking of astonishing, I'm definitely gonna have to do a why you should watch BoJack Horseman, because that show is magnifique. Oh, whew. Anyway, so that's Netflix, YouTube. Well, Netflix, when I say Netflix, I generally mean the streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, HBO, anywhere you can watch TV shows consistently. That's what I generally mean. I don't just mean Netflix. And I covered YouTube already as well. So it would be Twitch, I guess, would be the next platform to cover. With Twitch, it's interesting. I don't view it as much as I used to, so it's kind of hard for me to give that perspective. But if I had to recommend anything for watching Twitch consciously, I would just say kind of discover, the deeper, deeper foundation to the aspects of streaming live, and how people react to things, and how people explore and grow from these interactions with people that they don't truly know. It's a really interesting dynamic, streamers and Twitch chat, I would say. It's definitely one that some people have overstepped in not great ways, and other people have, not maximize the benefits of the benefits that there are, at least. And it's just really interesting to sit back and look at that dynamic that hundreds, thousands of people have with the Twitch streamer while you're in chat. It's interesting to think about and look at. So I recommend taking some time and thinking about that whenever you're watching a Twitch streamer, or even just like inquiring, asking some questions if you can. Obviously, if they're a big streamer, they probably won't answer your questions, but it's just interesting to sit there and kind of deep dive into what it must mean to be a Twitch streamer if you don't stream yourself, obviously. If you do stream, then you can kind of give your own perspective. That'd be cool to see in the comments. So, yeah, no, that's about it. I would say that's mostly how you would consciously start watching content. Now, I think I'm going to have to start doing the routine where I ask you guys to subscribe and hit the bell. I didn't do it before because I was like, that's dumb. Why does everyone do it? Everyone says at the end of the video, and it's like, okay, whatever. But apparently it actually works because they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and I do not. So subscribe and hit the bell on your way out, and have a great rest of your day or night or evening, depending on your time zone. I will catch you all later, hopefully tomorrow. As long as I stay motivated and on track, tomorrow will most likely be a video on why you should watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, or it'll be a video on how to improve your social anxiety, I guess it would be called. But yeah, anyway, take care, everyone. I will see you all later.